Hello, everybody, and welcome to Smells Like Teen Horror. My name is Eric Kasloff. So, before I get into the review, there's a few things I want to talk about. First is, back in 2007, when I was in film school, me and a bunch of friends went to go see the big event movie to us, and that was Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse. This was a really cool concept at the time, and I don't know anything else that's ever been done like this since. So you got a bunch of fake trailers, then a really good Robert Rodriguez movie, then some more fake trailers, and then a pretty decent Quentin Tarantino movie. Now, out of the trailers, three movies happened. Number one was Robert Rodriguez Machete. They went on to make a sequel, pretty cool, solid movies. Then there was a smaller one that only played in some theaters called Hobo with a Shotgun, which went on to become a pretty cool movie. But the trailer that stood out most to me and to a lot of people was for Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. Eli talked about in interviews how every other holiday had a slasher, but not Thanksgiving. So he made this amazing fake trailer for a 80s slasher movie called Thanksgiving. And there were some pretty iconic kills in this trailer. Were any of them in the actual movie? Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about them in this review. So it took us about 16 years for this movie to finally happen. Now again, just wait a little bit till I get to my review, because I gotta talk about how important this movie is right now for slasher movie fans. Horror fans overall, but particularly those of us who live and breathe slashers like me. I love slasher movies. That's what this whole channel is really based on. I made my first feature film 2 years ago, which is a slasher, and I am going to have news on that in the next few weeks, hopefully next few months. So if you want to see more slasher movies in theater, more movies with young up and coming stars, which we don't really have anymore. I mean, we complain about the oversaturation of superhero movies. Well, right now, as horror fans, we could all band together and make something new happen. Now, am I saying that Thanksgiving is the next Scream? No, I am not saying that, but I do think this movie lives perfectly comfortable with the urban legends, Valentine. Maybe I Know What You Did Last Summer, so it's not an S tier movie, but it is definitely A tier. Now, going in, I only knew three of the stars, and that was Patrick Dempsey. Hold on, I want to make sure I get everybody's name as close as I can. Hold for editing. Okay, so let's get in. Okay, so here are the people I knew going into the movie. Patrick Dempsey, obviously, Detective Kincaid. In the 80s, I knew him from Can't Buy Me Love. Rick Hoffman, I only knew because of the scene he had in Hostel 2. I know he's gone on to great stuff. And then Milo Menahem, I hope I'm saying it right. I'll put it right over here. I knew him from the show Teen Spirit, which is an awesome movie that you should all check out. So going in, I only knew the three of them. Apparently, the final girl, Abby, is played by Addison Rae, who I guess is a huge social media star. And that's another thing we gotta talk about before again, there is a review coming. The movies I grew up loving in the 90s all took people who were from WB shows pretty much and gave them a horror movie to star in. I know a lot of people hate that. I love that because you want to get teens to see it, and that's what this movie is trying to do. They're getting likable teens to be in their big Hollywood blockbuster movie. Now, the movie starts off with two Thanksgiving parties going on. One is with the owner of Right Mart, Gabby, Allison Ray's dad. The other is just one of the people who work at Right Mart, and Patrick Dempsey is there for Thanksgiving. Addison Ray and her friends are going out for the night, but one of them needs a new cell phone. So Addison helps her friends get into Right Mart right before the Friday shopping starts, and let's be honest, they're kind of jerks. They start to antagonize the people outside waiting to get in. So the people outside storm the store, break down the doors, and end up killing a lot of people. Now, this scene does a good balance of being horrific and funny. I mean, I got a little claustrophobic watching it, but also, you remember there are videos always, the Saturday after Black Friday of people storming stores to get like Nintendo Switches or whatever the hot item is. So it's a little bit real, but then, they obviously heighten it to make you laugh. Now, a year later, everything seems calm in the town. There are people protesting because of the Black Friday sale still happening. And here's where one of the small complaints I have about the movie come in. While they're at the diner, the waitress starts giving out the John Carver mask. Apparently, John Carver was the first mayor of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Now, we all know from the trailers he is our mass killer. They're wearing a John Carver mask. I wish they would have introduced him in the opening few minutes. Just have people wearing the mask then so we know he's a big deal in the town so that when the killings start happening, we know what's going on. So, a year later, people start dying off who were connected to the incident at the Right Mart. And yeah, the kills in the movie are awesome. The thing this movie does so well is it has the hip sleekness of 90s and 2000 slashers with the over the top gore of 80s slashers. Another thing I liked was the main cast, especially the teenagers. Yeah, none of them were, Sidney Prescott level of awesome, but they were very good and likable. I mean, they did incite a horrible incident, but after all, they're just kids and they seem guilty about what happens. Another thing I like is their use of this. A lot of movies, this destroys everything, the cell phone. But they do a good job in using technology in the movie. The killer is tagging people in Instagram posts, and that becomes a very cool aspect of it. Patrick Dempsey does a great job as the sheriff. Gabby Anderson does an awesome job. There are things I didn't like. There was a kind of love triangle that almost reminded me of both of the My Bloody Valentine movies. But that love triangle didn't hurt the movie, but it didn't help the movie, so it was just kind of there. That's one of the only negatives I have about the movie. There's one more. But yeah, overall, the movie is really cool. The reveal at the end, I personally did not see coming, so that was pretty awesome. Overall, I'm going to give the movie a 4.5 out of 5. I am going to explain why a 4.5 out of 5 right now, but I'm going to put a spoiler warning. I'm not going to spoil who the killer is because I'm going to do a spoiler talk about the movie, but spoiler warning for the two things I did not like about the movie. Okay, are you still here? Okay, this is a very small nitpick. I love it when a killer is revealed by taking off the mask. We do not get that in this movie, and I think that was kind of a bummer. I just love when that happens. The other only negative I have is too many people are left standing by the end of the movie. I personally love it when it's just the final girl or the final girl and the love interest. We don't get that, but yeah, overall, great movie, like I said earlier. 4.5 out of 5. Now, here's the questions that I have. Have you seen Thanksgiving? If so, comment below and let me know. Now, I'm going to ask you to do me a big, huge favor. If for some reason you like this video, please hit the like button and please share it with your friends. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I got a question for you.
What are you waiting for, huh?